you've invited Lee Rubin in. Tell me why.
I think goals should be lofty. I think once that you figured out how spectacular you are because you got a clear sense of identity and how amazing you are.
Hi, my name is Lee Rubin, founder of LeeRubinSpeaks.com and author of the motivational book, Win, Simple Insights to Help You Win the Game of Life. Part of my mission is to help organizations and individuals just like you both recognize and realize their full potential. I draw a lot of my material from my experience as a student athlete. Was fortunate enough to play football at Penn State. Was a 3-year starter and captain there, and really try to help organizations and individuals realize their full potential. So a lot of winning principles.
I like the title. So what are the winning principles that you try to reinforce and underscore with people?
You know, that's a great question. I think there's 3 things that are critical. Number 1 is being very self-aware.
Lee Rubin is way ahead of the curve with Lee's background of having been a captain at Penn State. He has a phenomenal story to tell. He played under the legendary Joe Paterno.
Former Penn State football captain and author Lee Rubin crisscrosses New Jersey and the country to show leaders how to lead in the corporate world and the classroom and the locker room.
We practice to develop machine-like thinking.
He has the passion, the charisma, the content, the information. I'm an award-winning motivational speaker, and he's the hottest young speaker in the business right now. If you're considering Lee Rubin as your next keynote speaker, I promise you one thing, it's a no-brainer. He's so good, he's got me looking over my shoulders. This is Walter Bond, and I endorse this message. Lee Rubin is a no-brainer.
Listen, the best teams don't always have the most talent. They're built on chemistry. Somebody's gonna get hurt, somebody's gonna get in trouble, referees might make a bad call, the weather's gonna be bad. It's part of life. It's part of the game you play, it's part of life. What are you gonna do when, not if, when the heat and pressure come?
The first component extraordinary teams are comprised of individuals who here's gonna be our mantra. We're gonna focus on being excellent with every drill, every day.
I'm just pumped, man. I've heard a lot of great speakers, and for some reason, when Lee gets up there and talks, it just seems so real. It's just like, it's the truth, you know, and I think people know the truth when they hear it.
Hey, after a while, it starts to sound like blah, 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 blah. Your actions speak louder than their words. Listen, I don't want to tell you which goals to set. You got your corporate aspirations, and I get that, but I do want to make one suggestion. In whatever you do, make sure you're consistent. But leaders and winners understand that adversity is an opportunity in disguise. Winners don't ask, how can I get out of this? Winners ask, what can I get out of this? Same situation, same pain, same discomfort, but instead of being a victim of it, they own it. They use that same situation to propel them. They use that same situation to make them better. They use that same situation to make them more creative and innovative.
We've seen very talented people, we've seen very gifted people, very skilled people who aren't successful, who aren't winners, because as soon as adversity comes up, see, adversity is not adversity because we call it adversity. It's adversity because of the pain and the discomfort that's associated with it. Would you agree with that? And what most people do in times of adversity is they retreat to a place of comfort or they find a way to mask the pain. And what they do is they miss out on the opportunities that come, with the growth and the development that come in very difficult spots, from difficult times, from adverse conditions. There's a very cool quote in the book: you cannot steal second base and keep your foot on first base. You can't get somewhere else if you want to stay stationary and safe and comfortable where you are. Listen, you got to take the risk of getting thrown out. You got to take the risk of getting caught stealing. You got to take the risk of getting caught in a rundown if you ever want to leave first base and get somewhere else. During my playing days, Coach Paterno would make a very interesting statement, a statement that I find even interesting today. He would say your opponent, the opposing team, should be respected and appreciated. Respected, I understood, but appreciated, didn't really get that. Why should I appreciate my opponent? And here was his response. Because it is your opponent that gave you the opportunity to be great. Your opponent gave you the opportunity, the motivation to become great. And the better your opponent, the greater your opponent, the greater the motivation for you to be great. Found that very interesting and a concept that I've continued to adopt. Your opponent should be respected and appreciated. Never feared, but respected and appreciated. So here's what I'm trying to say. Don't hate conflict. Don't hate conflict. In fact, embrace it. Embrace the challenges. Embrace the adversity. And see them as an opportunity to grow and develop.
Critical. Let me ask you a question. If I were to ask you right now, in this room, to show me your written goals, either on a piece of paper or on your smartphone, could you show me your goals written down? Could you? See, goals are critical. Here's why. Because goals both drive and steer our behavior. Goals both drive and steer our behavior. In the absence of goals, we're not as driven and we're not as focused. Let me ask a question. Basketball fans, I know we're at a baseball stadium. Basketball fans, what is your name, sir?
Jimmy.
Jimmy. Quick question, Jimmy. What would basketball look like? What would a basketball game look like if there were no baskets?
Running around confused. Not knowing.
Confused. Give me some other adjectives. Help Jimmy out. A mess. Confusion. Chaos. Lot of activity, but no direction. Here's the statement. I'm moving quickly. Life without goals is like basketball without baskets. There's a lot of activity. There's a lot of running around. You're busy. You're probably even fatigued. But where are you going? And how do you know if you're scoring? Life without goals is like basketball without baskets. Let me challenge you before you go to sleep tonight. Write down some goals. Some things personally and professionally you want to accomplish. I know you're busy. We're all busy. But where are we going?